Zhang Yi said to Xing Tian. Of course we have to go. Let's go together. This way, we have more people and more power, and we can also intimidate others, so that some people who don't know how to see will come to cause trouble. Zhang Yi's team is an elite team with a relatively small number of people. It is better to pull in the other three forces so that they can be used to block the knife when something happens. It is perfect. Xing Tian was determined to follow Zhang Yi at this time, and naturally agreed happily. Well, tell me when we will leave. Well, that's it. After Zhang Yi hung up the phone, he said the same thing to the other two families. Sure enough, they also received the news from the Jiangnan district and expressed their willingness to go to Blizzard City with Zhang Yi. After the call, everyone had arrived. Everyone listened to Yang Mi's general description of the matter and couldn't help but talk about it in the living room. Everyone's face was full of curiosity and anxiety. They didn't know much about the Jiangnan district, but they also knew that the place had extremely powerful energy. Needless to say, there are all kinds of modern weapons. Just talking about the aliens who come out of there, each of them is also very powerful. The Black Robe team led by Bian Junwu left a very deep impression on everyone in Tianhai City. Okay, everyone is here. Let me tell you about calling you here. Zhang Yi sat up straight, looked at everyone and said, the Jiangnan District Headquarters has issued a call to all forces within the region. It requires us to arrive at Blizzard City in Jinling before April 8th. There is basically no room for maneuver in this matter, and we can't refuse it. We have to go. So I tell you in advance, be prepared. There is nothing to discuss about this matter. They won't be stupid enough to go against the Jiangnan District. Go, of course you have to go. Zhang Yi simply notified them. After hearing this, everyone couldn't help but talk about it. Fatty Su said worriedly, why did the district suddenly call us over? Is there some conspiracy? Uncle Yu said, probably not. Maybe just a general mobilization like a military parade. Fatty Su asked again, is there going to be a war? Uncle Yu said, that's hard to say, but it shouldn't be. He smiled and said, although we are in the end times now, there are 6 districts guarding China. Who dares to invade? Zhang Yi listened to the discussions of the crowd and told everyone the news he had heard from Bailey Chongqing. You don't have to worry too much. I've already communicated with my friends over there. This should be a meeting held by the Jiangnan District Headquarters to determine its authority and unify the jurisdiction of all forces in the region. It's not as if they're going to recruit us and let us leave Tianhai City and go over there. Zhang Yi spread his hands. After all, if we leave, Tianhai City will really become a dead city. Maybe other people will be thinking about it. I believe the Jiangnan district will not make such a decision. Okay, next we have to decide on the candidates to go there. Zhang Yi glanced at everyone and said lightly, let's do it the same as usual. Uncle Yu, Fatty Su, Liang Yu and Huahua will go to Blizzard City. The others will stay behind. But someone raised an objection. Zhou Qir looked at Zhang Yi eagerly. Zhang Yi, it's a rare gathering of aliens in the entire Jiangnan region. I also want to go and take a look. Maybe I can help. Zhang Yi smiled and said, you are a doctor. We are not going there to fight. What are you going to do? That's hard to say. Zhou Qir hugged Zhang Yi's arm and said coquettishly, you also said that there will be a lot of good and bad people there. What if there is a conflict with them and a fight? A personal doctor is here. Don't you feel relieved? Zhang Yi smiled and said, how can there be no doctors in Blizzard City? Zhou Qir raised her eyebrows and said meaningfully, are you assured to let their doctors treat you? Zhou Qir's eyes were filled with some unusual meaning. Zhang Yi frowned and thought for a moment, and immediately realized the problem. You mean if I go there to receive their treatment, I may leak my own information? The Jiangnan region has extremely advanced science and technology, and there are also special institutions to raid aliens. That is to say, after Zhang Yi was examined by them, his own strength level and even the specific situation of his supernatural power might be thoroughly checked by them. Zhou Qir said seriously, I am worried that they will get your gene sample and make a weapon against you based on it. Zhang Yi's eyes became more and more profound. He couldn't help but think of the origin bomb. This kind of weapon is specially developed to deal with supernatural beings. If your genetic information is obtained by others, it is very likely that they will use it to develop a weapon specifically targeting you. Not only Zhang Yi felt the danger, but others also felt a chill on their backs. Is it so complicated? In this case, even if we go there, we must be careful and can't leave our own intelligence, especially Fatty Sue. His face was solemn. After thinking about his usual hobbies, he decided to bring some pepper water with him and resolutely not leave any DNA there. Zhou Ke's words successfully convinced Zhang Yi. He felt that it was most reassuring to use his own people as doctors. Zhang Yi nodded and said to Zhou Ke, "Okay, you come with us." "Great." Zhou Ke laughed happily. It was a rare opportunity to go far away, and she certainly didn't want to miss it. At this time, Lu Kuer cast an envious look at Zhou Ke and volunteered to say, "Brother, take me with you." Zhang Yi glanced at Lu Kuer and rubbed his head. "Don't make trouble if you all go. How can we take care of you?" Lu Kuer gave Zhang Yi a reason that he couldn't resist. "Brother, the Jiangnan district has so many advanced weapons, and there must be other things besides the origin bomb. Don't you want to get it?" She put one hand on her chest and said confidently, "As long as I have a chance to touch them, I can analyze their structure and material composition. There is a high probability that I can replicate it." Zhang Yi slapped his thigh. "Go. You must go. No one else can go without my sister." So the candidates who went to Blizzard City were decided so happily. As for the others, they had no plans to follow. Yang Mi and Zhou Haimei liked to stay at home and enjoy the good years quietly. Yang Xinxin had to stay at home, on the one hand to provide information technology support for Zhang Yi and others. On the other hand, only she and Zhang Yi were familiar with the various systems at home. When Zhang Yi left home, she would have to maintain the safety of the shelter. So, a total of 6 people and 1 cat decided to go to Blizzard City this time. Please subscribe for more videos.